Start off though with the UEFA and CONCACAF stuff. That is the main stuff that we do want to talk about here today. So a couple days ago, which was actually last week when this was reported, but I was on vacation, so I didn't really make a video on that either. But UEFA and CONCACAF are reportedly looking at turning their open opposition to Infantino into something far more tangible, a new 96-team Nations League that would sit largely outside FIFA's competitive structure. According to The Guardian, the two confederations have reportedly begun discussions over combining their existing Nations League competitions as early as 2028, creating a cross-Atlantic tournament involving every member association in Europe, North and Central America, and even the Caribbean. And the on-pitch attraction is obvious, as well as getting one up on FIFA. That's the main reason why they want to do this. League A could bring regular competitive meetings between the likes of England, Spain, France, and Germany. And for whatever reason, CONCACAF's leading nations, including the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Don't know why they will do that. But yeah, that is the main reason that they're going to do this. They're doing it after 2028 simply because of the Euros that happen in 2028. So this will take place in the international window. So the international windows of, what's the word I'm looking for? September, October, November that you typically see, that will be replaced with those friendlies with the Nations League. And then eventually the March window will have some knockouts, and then the final will be held in June. But that is what they are going after. Fabian says, James, I'm like Caitlin Clark today, going for 36 points while Ryan is doing rebounds today. Me bounce. I'm Angel Reese. I don't know if anyone saw, but the whole Ennis Cantor thing was quite funny the other day. How he was just sitting there, and then the other, I forgot her name, but she just started crashing out on him. He actually got escorted out. He's no longer allowed in Chicago Sky. Is that their team name? I don't know what the team name is, but he's no longer allowed into that stadium of WNBA. But I thought it was kind of funny that he was just sitting there. Then the girl scored a layup and then just started crashing out on him, and he's just sitting there. I thought that was kind of funny. But no, I love this, by the way. I love this for CONCACAF. This is not necessarily a UEFA thing, like where this is good for UEFA. This is more of a good thing for CONCACAF. Because again, UEFA, they've got the Euros, they've got their own Nations League, they've got everything that they need. But you think about it from UEFA's point of view. UEFA struggles in the ugly games, if that makes sense. Like if you look at Germany versus Paraguay, they struggle a little bit in terms of that. They struggle in those games. You saw that this time around. You saw, there's another European side that went down early. In Netherlands and Morocco, they went out early. Again, that is another ugly type of game, but they struggled with it. But I absolutely love this because UEFA, from UEFA's standpoint, they're just trying to one up FIFA. They're pissed off at UEFA. But from CONCACAF, I want to go from CONCACAF. Actually, let me go CONCACAF's point of view a little bit further first. This is perfect for CONCACAF. Combining with UEFA, this is perfect for them. Why? Because you are now going to get these nations, the United States, Canada, Mexico. They're now going to be playing the best teams in the world on a more consistent basis. They're no longer going to be playing Cuba, Guatemala, Curacao. No disrespect to those nations, but they're not playing those little fish anymore. In CONCACAF, those three nations, it's really the U.S. and Mexico. Canada's kind of an afterthought, but USA and Mexico, big fish in a small pond. Now they're going to be playing in Europe, and they're going to be a small fish in a very big pond. They're now going to be playing the best teams in the world. You saw it in this past World Cup. 3 of the final 4 teams were from Europe. Now we're going to go into now CONCACAF will have a combined Copa America coming up. Now they have a combined Nations League. Look, the Nations League doesn't mean anything for the U.S., at least for me personally, because it doesn't mean anything to us. What? We beat Mexico and Canada? Great. So what? We're still going to finish in the round of 16. We now need to get over that hump from the round of 16 into the quarterfinals. Our ceiling has always been the round of 16. And one of the ways that we can get over that hump is playing in the Nations League playing against the UEFA sides on a more consistent basis, and playing against the CONMEBOL sides on a more consistent basis as well. I said let's combine with CONMEBOL, but if we're combining with UEFA, that's a lot better than what it really needs to be. But think about it from the US. They are now going to go up against Spain, England. What does that do? That is going to help them way more. And now the big boys, Pulisic, Balogun, McKennie, those guys, they're going to feel a little bit more inclined to play these games rather than skipping out on a Gold Cup because they're tired and they don't feel like it. we're now going to see these big boy names come up much more consistently. And against these big sides, that's going to create more continuity with the U.S. when it comes to the World Cups, when it comes to Copa Americas, and that is exactly what we need. This is massive news for CONCACAF because CONCACAF combining with UEFA is massive because we get to play these big boys much more often. We get to see what the bar is. We get to see what our standard is against them, and we get to size them up, see how we can compare against them. Do I think we're going to win many games against them? No, I really don't. I really don't think the USA, Mexico, and Canada should even be in League A or whatever they're calling it. But I absolutely love it. And from UEFA's standpoint, it is simply to just one up FIFA. That they're just pissed off at FIFA, and rightfully so, based on what Infantino has been doing recently. But I absolutely love this move from UEFA or for CONCACAF and UEFA. UEFA, this is simply to get mad at FIFA, and from CONCACAF side, this is to just get better competition. Because I'm sorry, when we go in the Gold Cup and it's like, oh, yeah, we just beat Guatemala 3-0. Who gives a shit about it? No disrespect to Guatemala. I'm not trying to disrespect Guatemala in this at all. But who cares about what a victory over Guatemala? Because that does not help the United States get over that round of 16 hump. Guys, watching that Belgium game back, and I'll get to your comments here in a couple of seconds here. But if you go back and watch that Belgium game, and you watch the Belgium game from 2014, and you go back and watch the Netherlands game in 2022, guys, we didn't deserve to be on the field with those sides. We didn't. Because guess what? We got ran off the field in the first 5 minutes against Belgium this year. I'm sitting there in the watch party, and I go, this is bad. This is bad. This is over. We are going to get waxed in this game. And we did. They scored the first 10 minutes. And realistically, they should have scored 2 in the first 10 minutes unless Matt Freese pulled off that absolute wonderful save. And Belgium isn't even one of the best sides in Europe. And we got absolutely waxed by them. Look at Mexico. Mexico, if England doesn't get a red card, that's probably a 3-goal loss. But they get a PK, they get a gift they get a great goal by Quinones, they get a gift of a goal and a PK, and then Kwanzaa gets a red card. Without that, Mexico loses that game by 3 goals. Canada, they were losing 4-0 against Morocco, and I got to hear Jesse Marsh's BS and him saying, I'd rather be us than them. No, you weren't, Jesse. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying. You got absolutely waxed on that day, too, to Morocco. You got absolutely belt to ass by Morocco. And I know Morocco's not going to be in this situation, the format of these nation leagues. But think about it. Those round of 16s, we got absolutely killed. Taking these round of 16s, or playing against UEFA, elevates our ceiling. It takes our ceiling just a little bit higher. Now maybe we can close that gap just a little bit. And that's what it's all about. This movement, CONCACAF combining with UEFA, is closing that gap. We got belt to ass in all 3 of those games. All 3 of those nations have. If you go back, Mexico has not gotten past out of the round of 16 since 1986. We've only gotten past the round of 16 one time since World War II. That was in 2002. Canada has it. Costa Rica has gotten further than all 3 of these nations in the World Cup. Than all 3. That's unheard of. But they've gotten past the round of 16s. We just haven't done that. And that, from a nation of our size and the history that Mexico has and the amount of funds Canada's been trying to put into soccer, that's unacceptable to not get past the round of 16 for that long.